Hi folks, this is Wes Simpson, founder of LearnIPVideo.com and one of your hosts for VidTrans 21. I thought I'd put together a little tutorial on how to use our new Be Live platform, which we're using for virtual VidTrans for the first time. I think you'll find that there's some really great features on here. We have the ability for people to visit multiple booths. We have the ability for people to communicate directly with each other using chat. We have the ability for all people to join us together in the main stage and listen to presentations, as well as to go to breakout rooms in our pubs and have private conversations. I think overall you're really going to like the platform. Plus, this year, as a bonus, we have some sweeteners for people who go around and visit many or all of the different booths. We'll be giving out some door prizes each day and hope that you have a chance to check our leaderboard and see how you're doing and qualify for some great door prizes. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you at Virtual VidTrans 21. Here's a quick guide to some of the features on the Be Live platform that we're going to be using for VidTrans 21. Once you successfully log into the Be Live platform for VidTrans 2021, you should be on the map page. If you're not, you can navigate to it by going over to the left side and clicking on the map navigation as shown with the blue highlight. When you're there, you'll see the familiar look of the Marina Del Rey Marriott, where we've had VidTrans for the past few years. And you'll see an array of booths and special rooms that are part of VidTrans. So on the right, you'll see a total of 16 booths, and these are dedicated to individual companies, as you can see, and we'll talk about how they work later. On the left, you'll see 3 special rooms. You'll see the reception help desk, you will see the main stage, and you will see the VSF pub. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the reception help desk by clicking on the reception help desk icon. Press the button on the VidTrans map for reception help. Your browser will refresh and you will see this display that shows the reception help area. Notice that there's a blue button here for launch meeting. Once you press this launch meeting button, you will initiate a Zoom conference that will allow you to see and be seen, as well as speak and be heard with the other people that are presently in the reception help area. If you don't press this button, you won't be able to communicate with them using Zoom. Starting the video and audio conference, Zoom will open a dialog box that will ask you if you want to open the Zoom meetings. And you have to click on Open Zoom Meetings, the white button in the pop-up, that will allow Zoom to understand that you're ready to have your speaker and your camera be connected to the speakers and cameras of the other folks that are in the Zoom room. You confirm with Zoom that you want your Zoom application to start running. And remember, you have to have this downloaded on your device, whether it's a PC or a tablet or a phone. Then you will actually enter the Zoom conference and you will have your smiling face and everybody else's smiling face who happens to be in the reception help area be displayed. And you'll notice it's a standard Zoom window with the controls down at the bottom, just like any other Zoom conference you've ever been on. It's important to understand that you're actually using 2 separate applications when you're participating in a conference on the Be Live platform for VidTrans 21. The 2 applications are your web browser, which is shown on the left, and your Zoom application, which is shown in the window on your right. Sometimes these can be in separate areas of the screen. Sometimes one may be overlaid on top of the other. It's important to note that the Zoom window is just a standard Zoom interface that you might have seen through any other Zoom conference that you participated in. And the truly special part of the Be Live platform is on the left. Now, you'll notice that while we're in the registration help area, our Zoom call can be communicating with anybody who happens to be there. But we also see on the left side of the browser that there's a range of different sets of information. You can see the other guide navigation links up at the top, but you can also see all the other rooms that are present, and you can see the people who are in the other rooms. So while we're here, what the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a trip over to the Media Links booth, because I know there's some people there. On the Media Links booth, what I see is the information that they've provided for me to view while I'm considering whether or not I want to enter the Media Links booth. So this is kind of like you're in a trade show and you're walking down the hallway and you see a booth that is owned by, in this particular case, Media Links. So I can decide to go in, or I can decide to keep on walking, and the way I keep on walking would be to click on another booth. But in this case, I'm actually going to go in, so I'm going to connect my Zoom meeting to this new booth so that I can talk to the people who are actually here. Security precaution: the Zoom application will ask me if I want to join this new meeting. So what it does is it leaves me connected to the reception help desk until I hit the leave and join button on the pop-up window that shows up. Once I do that, then I'll be connected to the other folks that are in the Media Links booth and their Zoom room. If I click cancel, I will still remain connected via Zoom to the reception help desk. So this allows you to control whether or not you're going to actually enter the booth or you're just going to be looking at it from the outside. And again, you can see who the people are in that booth on the navigation, but you can't actually communicate with them while they're in their booth until you join their Zoom conference. Once I click the leave and join window, my previous Zoom session will end and a new one will start, and I will appear in the Zoom room with the other folks who are currently in the Media Links booth. In this case, we see Gil and Mary smiling nicely. With this feature, I can now communicate directly with them, and I can have all the functions that I normally have with Zoom. I can mute my microphone or unmute it. I can stop my video or start it, but they will know that I'm there, and they will. It's exactly the same as if I've walked from the hallway in the trade show into the actual booth of the folks, in this case here at Media Links. So very similar application, very similar ambiance to actually being at a trade show. And it allows you to walk around and decide where you want to be and who you want to talk with. So just a quick reminder here. While I'm having my wonderful conversation with Gil and Mary, that's going to be taking place in my Zoom window. But my browser window is still open, and I can look at the content that has been provided within the Media Links booth, or I can click on another booth and see what's there. And remember, I won't leave the Zoom conference until I actually decide I want to do that, and Zoom is going to ask me to confirm that I want to do that before I actually leave the conversation. Now, of course, at any time I could go to the lower right-hand corner of the Zoom window and click leave, and that would end my current Zoom session. But I could join a new one by going to another booth or going to one of the other areas on the VidTrans map. One of the cool things I can do, again, while my Zoom is still connected, my camera and my microphone are still connected to the Zoom conference that I was previously in, I can go over to my navigation screen and I can click on the Users tab. Once I do that, I can see who the other folks are that have registered for VidTrans 21, and I can tell whether or not those people are actually active on the platform. You can see in this column on the right that their status is indicated as to which room they're in. In this case, Mary is in the Media Links room. Now, another thing I can do is I can initiate a text chat with Mary. So all I have to do that is click the chat button. And it might take a few seconds, so don't be impatient if it takes a little while to start running. But you'll see over on the right side of your browser window, you'll see that it changes to say Chat with Mary Dunstan. So I can say, Hi, Mary. And I do that simply by typing a message down here and hitting the send button. And Mary can also communicate back with me. So we can have a private two-way conversation with anybody who's anywhere within the VidTrans 21 platform. They don't have to be in the same booth. They don't have to be in the same area. What they do have to be is actually active on the platform for them to be able to see your chat messages. So if they're inactive, you're not going to be able to communicate with them. Also notice that there's a handy little search window that will bring up all the people, in this case, who have DON in their name. So that's a very useful feature that allows you to essentially get a hold of anybody who happens to be in the booth, in another booth, in the main stage, anywhere within the VidTrans 21 platform. All these areas are available for you to initiate a conversation with somebody else at VidTrans. As you can see in this diagram, there's actually a bunch of us now in the Media Links booth, and all their names are listed underneath that booth name. But the reason I'm showing you this slide is to show you over on the right-hand side, notice that next to Gil Payne's name, there's a little bracket and an asterisk. This means that Gil has sent me a message via the chat window. And again, these are private messages. They don't get recorded on the platform. When you leave the platform, the messages go away. But what you can do is as soon as you see that shows up, and you also get an audible tone when somebody sends you one of these chat messages, is you can use your mouse and you can click onto that person's name, and instead of being connected to Mary, I will now be connected to Gil. So that gives me a very flexible way to communicate with different people who are at other places within the VidTrans 21 platform. New feature of the BeLive platform that's making its debut at VidTrans 21 is a scoreboard function. And what you'll see on the scoreboard is a list of people, and you'll also see for each person that there will be a score. The score represents the number of different booths that they have visited within the VidTrans 21 floor plan. Well, why would that matter, you might ask? Well, the reason that matters is that we will be making a series of drawings at random from the top scorers each day to award them some door prizes. And as you might have heard, the door prizes are fairly generous, and we will be making sure that we encourage people to visit as many of the booths as they can. Now, in order to score a booth, you need to not only visit it, but you actually need to make a connection to it in the Zoom function. And you can't just pop in and out. It definitely works better with the score if you're there at least for a minute or two. So feel free to wander around the VidTrans exhibit floor, stop in as many booths as you can, say hi to the folks there, and move along so you can make sure that you visit as many of the different places on the floor map as you can, and therefore qualify for being drawn as one of the lucky people who gets one of the many door prizes that we'll be awarding during VidTrans 21. Other little points might make your stay at VidTrans a little bit more comfortable. First of all, if you use the zoom function on your browser window, you can more comfortably fit the graphics and the other content that might be on one of the maps or in the booth or whatever, or as you see here at the VSF Pub, to make those more comfortably fit within your browser window. Also, if you look at the very bottom on the left-hand side, you'll see a small button that says Nav Pop-Up. If you click that button, what that does is it removes the navigation screen from your browser window and makes it into a pop-up window, which you can now move around on your display. That's particularly useful for people who might have smaller displays, or a single display like a laptop or what have you. Once you've popped that out, it allows you to do all the functions that you have in the navigation bar and see who the other people are and where they're located, without having to actually access your full browser window every time you want to do that. You can just refer to the pop-up. So I want to thank you for listening today. I think you'll find that this is a pretty cool platform. You have a lot of different chances to interact with your fellow attendees. One of the things that we haven't shown you are the breakout rooms, which are available in the pub and in some of the booths. And the breakout rooms allow you to have private meetings with people. So feel free to explore, try some of these features, and have a grand old time. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, hopefully before the conference, because I'll be pretty busy hosting the event on the main stage. But feel free to drop me an email at wes@learnipvideo.com as it's shown on your screen here. Thank you very much.